What's up, guys? My name is Mykee. I'm one half of the Kicks, Vibes, and Life sneaker podcast, and welcome to Footnotes. For those of you who might not know, Footnotes is a segment on this channel where we give you easily digestible info on shoes, brands, and more things that go on in sneaker culture. On this episode, we're not going to be talking about upcoming shoe releases like we did in the last episode, nor are we going to do a brand breakdown like we did in the first episode. Because this time around, we're going to be talking about the show, and that show in particular is Sneakerheads. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on it, letting you know what the show is all about. I'll do a brief rundown of some of the best shoes you'll see on the show, and give you more things that I would say would make for good recommended watching as well. Sneakerheads is a fairly new buddy comedy series that arrived on Netflix towards the end of September 2020. The season is 6 episodes long, with each episode clocking in at a little over 20 minutes each. If you've got the time, it's a show you can easily finish in one sitting. The show follows Devin, former sneakerhead turned family man. While he's in line for a drop of Air Jordan 4s, he reconnects with Bobby, a good friend of his from his sneaker collecting days. Bobby convinces Devin to try his luck at scoring a huge storage unit full of rare sneakers as a way to get rich quick. But the deal turns sour and Devin finds himself $5,000 in debt. From there, the guys go on a series of misadventures, from going around town flipping shoes all the way to flying to Hong Kong in search of a pair of grails few people have ever heard of. There are a few standout characters, a number of cameos, and obviously lots of heat. Moving on to the review, there are a few things I liked and some I felt could be improved further. I liked that the show packed a lot of relatable moments for sneakerheads, from standing in lines, trying to score through the help of a sneaker plug, to going far and wide to score shoes. Sometimes when you get into sneaker culture, logical decisions just go out the window, especially when you get to a point where you can justify an overseas trip solely for the purpose of buying shoes. Anybody who's been collecting shoes has some sort of crazy sneaker story that's in line with what you'll find on the show. So good job to the show's writers for really capturing those kinds of moments. Some might see them as a little overboard, but I think the appreciation for the culture really shines through. I mentioned standout characters earlier on in the video, but the one character that really stands out for me is Nori. She's a young entrepreneur who tracks down highly coveted shoes for famous people. She's street smart, knows the game, and represents the self-made hustler ideal that today's generation can certainly aspire to be, whether that's in the world of sneakers or not. I also said that there were a few things that could be improved on, one of them being the fleshing out of the main characters. I just wish they had a little more depth to them, especially Bobby. But then again, it's hard to expect that happening in a show that's only 6 episodes deep. Hopefully, if a second season comes around, both Devin and Bobby's characters get a little more developed later on. Now the big question is the show worth watching? Well, yes and no. If you're a sneakerhead, there's a lot to like for sure. But if you're someone who's an outsider, who's not tuned into the culture, or if you're just looking for something new to watch, I would certainly say that there are many, many better shows out there. You could try giving it a couple of episodes, maybe the first 2 episodes, see how you're feeling, and just go from there. Regardless of how you feel about the show, I think we can all agree that Sneakerheads is loaded with heat. And out of everything I've seen, I'm going to give you guys a rundown of the best shoes you will see on screen. The Nike Air Yeezy 2 Red October was the last shoe released from the partnership between Nike and rapper Kanye West. However, their partnership hit a rough patch and ended up with Kanye severing ties with the sportswear brand even before these launched. Though held in high regard today, the Red Octobers ended up dropping online with no advanced warning, bringing a rather unceremonious end to a landmark partnership. Paying tribute to athletes from the University of Oregon, this player-exclusive Air Jordan 4 is highly sought after. These are also said to feature the signature of legendary Nike footwear designer and former University of Oregon athlete Tinker Hatfield on the inside tags. One of the most easily recognizable Air Jordans of all time, the Air Jordan, especially in this Concord colorway, exemplified luxury on the hardwood. Tinker Hatfield's design for the Air Jordan 3 conjures up images of a young Michael Jordan dunking from the free throw line. I've gone over this in one of our podcast episodes, but I do think the Air Jordan 3 is the most important Air Jordan of all time. One of the more recent outputs from a long-standing collaborative relationship between Nike and Dutch artist Para, this Air Max 1 brings together patterns and color blocking representing the dynamic movements between the city and countryside. Those were just 5 of the coolest pairs you could see on the show. But if Sneakerheads left you wanting more, or if you're looking to deepen your appreciation for the culture itself, here are a couple of shows that I think would be recommended watching. Released in 2015, Sneakerheads with a Z is a documentary that takes a serious look at sneaker culture, including just how far some collectors will go just to cop a pair of sneakers. This complex docu-series looks at sneaker culture from a regional lens, examining how cities around the world obsess over certain pairs of shoes. But if you're looking for a show with the feel of Sneakerheads, and in my opinion does things much better, do check out How to Make It in America. Released in 2010 and spanning 2 seasons, this show tells the story of a duo trying to make it big with their fashion brand in New York. Though it might not be about sneakers, this show embodies that hustler, do-it-all mentality that pervades both sneaker and street culture. With that, it is a wrap for this episode of Footnotes. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do hit like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to stay updated for new episodes of Footnotes, the current rotation where we talk about the shoes we've been wearing, and of course, our namesake podcast. Have you seen Sneakerheads? Did you like it? Do share your thoughts in the comments below. Once again, my name is Mykee. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next one.